Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
And show them that black people are too excellent for you to be out here destroying your own community. You're destroying your own community. You do realize that. You're not destroying their Whole Foods. You're destroying our black businesses. So the more you realize that peaceful protest is really the only way to get through, the easier this whole thing will be.
What change do you want to see? Tensions are high right now. You said that you are exhausted as a black woman right now. What change do you want to see?
Honestly, I just want to see better mental health care for police officers, and I also want to see diversifying the police force. This all starts within the police force, because if we feel that you're going to be aggressive towards us, of course as black people we're going to be defensive. If you've seen nothing but police violence and brutality, whenever they come around you're going to get tense. But it does not help when you have police officers that are jumping, police officers that are scared, that are ill-trained, that are not actually doing their jobs. We need to have better vetting of the police. We need to make sure that this criminal justice system is actually for the people and not for the powerful.
You've been out here for the past 2 days. You are starting to lose your voice, but you want to send a message across. What message do you want to send tonight?
I just want to send the message that unnecessary police force is the reason why we're out here. The reason why we're out here is because we are tired of complaining on social media and you not listening. We're tired of watching people die on videos and nothing happened. We are tired of hearing people say we can't breathe. We're tired of it. We are tired of seeing all these black bodies drop while you steal our black culture. We are tired. We are ready for you to understand us, to see us as people. America has always had a 3/5 rule with black people. You shoot one, you put two in jail, and you keep the other two. We are tired. We are people who deserve to live normal lives. If you can live peacefully in your white skin, I should be able to live peacefully in my black skin. I am not here to harm you. I want you to go home to your family just like I want to go home to mine. But we cannot do that if we're all being violent against each other. We got brought here through violence, and we're trying to change that.
Hi, my loves. It's Destin Choice, and you're watching Choice TV. So, crazy times we're living in right now. It's a really, really wild world, and I can't believe I'm living to see it. This is going to go down as a huge imprint in history. One of these days, we're all going to be telling our kids about this shit. It's crazy. They're going to write this shit in textbooks. And at this point, I feel like this has really surpassed the Rodney King riot back in 1991. Because for a lot of y'all who don't know about the Rodney King riot that happened in LA, it was about a black man who basically was unarmed and got savagely beat and assaulted by multiple cops. And guess what? Those cops were never convicted. So the whole world went insane, and almost half of LA basically got burnt to the fucking ground. It was insane back in the 90s when the Rodney King situation happened. Those police officers were never really condemned. Now, not only that, let's also address the fact that the whole Ferguson situation didn't live up to this. The whole riots in Baltimore didn't live up to this. A lot of riots all over the world. The Trayvon Martin riot didn't live up to this. So seeing all of this unfold globally, people in Brazil, people in Europe, people in Hong Kong protesting, it's literally blowing my mind. It just goes to show you that all it is the elephant in the room. It's basically the elephant in the room that has been disregarded, barely ever addressed, and I'm glad people are finally having room for these discussions. Now, let me just say real quick shout out to all my non-black people watching this. You want to know how you can be an ally? Education. Honestly, learn about the system, learn about everything that's around you, learn about the things that are around you, because if you are so shocked by this and you are shocked by the video you've seen, now you feel black people's pain. Now you understand. When the looting, in my personal opinion, has gotten way out of hand, I understand why people do it. If you're going to do it, it is what it is. I don't condone it, but I guess it's one of those things where the elephant in the room exploded. And it took people last minute to address it. People have been trying to talk about racism and injustice for like literally since the beginning of social media, trying to educate people. But we still have people who go out their way to say things like, oh, white privilege don't exist, or white people face racism too. Shout out to Billie Eilish. Shout out to so many celebrities who spoke out about white privilege, because it's very important. If you still don't understand why I always say there's no such thing as racism against white people, here's this video.
You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for us. No. You don't come back in here until you've apologized to every person in this room. Because you just exercised a freedom that none of these people of color have. When these people of color get tired of racism, they can't just walk out, because there's no place in this country where they aren't going to be exposed to racism. They can't even stay in their own homes and not be exposed to racism if they turn on the television. But you, as a white female, when you get tired of being judged and treated unfairly on the basis of your eye color, you can walk out that door. And you know it won't happen out there. You exercised a freedom they don't have. If you're going to be in here, you're going to apologize to every black person in this room. And do it now.
I'm
and
sorry,
the Latinos, every person of color.
Racism, this country.
Bullshit! No, you're not going to say, I'm sorry there's racism. You're going to apologize for what you just did.
I will not apologize because it's not a matter of race always.
Out! Out! Now, is she choosing to leave? Yes. She could apologize and stay.
I won't play the wrong game anymore.
So you see what I mean when I say shit like that? White people don't experience racism, so it's the only thing you can do is be an ally. Instead of trying to be a victim and trying to start your own movement because, you know, obviously you're not affected, try to be an ally, try to educate yourselves, try to spread love, try to understand the anger. Because people telling black people, oh, y'all are doing too much, y'all are this, y'all are that. First of all, let's be very clear. Black people aren't the only people looting, okay? I literally seen videos of undercover cops literally smashing windows. I seen videos of anarchists, yes, anarchists, like the movie Purge, smashing shit. I've seen white people, black people, Latinos, Asian people stealing, period.
And it is incredible to see in a unfortunate way. I can only hope that this person isn't stealing and that maybe they are an employee. But based on what I have seen tonight,
Only white people doing this fucking shit, man.
Got part of that shit. Dude. Oh, I zoomed in. I'll zoom in.
Smash the windows.
I'm gonna fight you right now.
You wanna go? What's up? Somebody hold my blunt. Hey, somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna keep it. Hey. Are you a fucking cop? What's up?
People's way of expressing themselves. This is not a black woman who's putting Black Lives Matter. I just want you to know that when right, but y'all doing that for us, and we ain't asked you to do that. Listen, don't spray stuff on here when they gonna blame black people for this, and black people didn't do it.
And there it is. All of y'all are gonna fucking die or go to jail. You're supposed to be talking about Black Lives Matter, and you trying to loot this fucking place. You fucking hypocrites. You don't give a fuck about Black lives. Y'all don't give a fuck about Black lives. Y'all wanna rob and steal. Y'all wanna fucking rob and steal, and you a fucking white person. Who the fuck cares? We gonna die, you dumbass. That's the point. The black people gonna die.
Let me also point out, YouTubers like Jake Paul were literally out here filming this for vlog footage. His friends, the people around him were looting. It's all a fucked up situation right now. So I hate that the media is trying to spin this like they're only showing black people in the hood fucking shit up because they know that's what gets the numbers in. So that's why I was really happy when CNN got fucked up. Because for me, I was just like, oh well, I don't support looting. I don't think looting is right. But at the same time, it's the elephant in the room. Is that going to solve anything? I don't think looting is going to solve anything. Because one thing that people don't realize is if you loot and you cause all this terror and burn shit down, like people legit burnt down a Wendy's. Like how? Why? if you do shit like that, a lot of that in the long run is going to come out of your pockets. Not only that, you ever notice that when people fuck shit up in the hood, when light poles get broken, when stop signs get ripped off the streets? You ever notice how it takes months up to a year for people to fix the hood? But in the suburbs, they're quick to fix it. So please understand that fucking up your own neighborhood, trying to steal sneakers and flat screen TVs, that is not worth it. People are losing trace of what the real issue is. The real issue is police need to get it together, and we need to find some way to enforce some type of rule to literally fix all of this. Now let's also address the black women also, because I want everyone to understand that it's not just black men dying, because we see a constant pattern of people always saying, you know, oh, black men this, black men that, oh, you know, black men, they can't go anywhere. But what about the black women? Black women can't even be safe in their own homes. What about Breonna Taylor? And please understand that this isn't a whole, I'm trying to shift the issue on another person. This is a whole, we need to worry about everyone as a whole. And not only that, also, let's talk about Mr. Dade. Everyone keeps forgetting about all these other people who are marginalized, like women and transgender people who are facing discrimination due to the fact that they're facing all this oppression, not just because of their blackness, but because of the way they look and because of their gender. Now, transgender people aren't excluded. They are not excluded from Black Lives Matter. They're a part of it. Black women are not excluded. They should be a part of it. One thing that I have noticed is that there's so many black women who are front row at these protests. They're front row, front and center, analyzing everything, nurturing everything. They're front row. But a lot of people aren't having the same outrage and anger for Breonna Taylor or these women. So the next time you say Black Lives Matter, please know that all these marches and looting, all of this is protesting for people like LaTanya Haggerty. She was a 26-year-old passenger in 1999. She was killed by the Chicago PD literally for no reason because she took out her phone, and since she was on the phone, they thought she had a weapon, and she was killed and got little to no news coverage. And don't forget about Eleanor Bumper, a woman who died in 1984 due to unlawful force, and then the police proceeded to shoot her despite her having a mental illness. So please be sure to say her name too. And let's not forget about Yvette Smith. A lot of y'all probably never heard her name, but she was an innocent black woman who died on her front porch because officers assumed that she was armed on her front porch. So they fired on her, and then they later put out a statement saying that she was armed, and then they retracted it and said, oops. Also, let's give our condolences to Natasha McKenna, a 37-year-old woman who suffered from mental illness, literally killed unlawfully. Since she had mental illness, she was shackled from her feet to her hands, and they still stunned her 4 times with a stun gun until she died. There's photos all over the internet of them profusely using unlawful force, and no one really talks about her. Then don't forget about Atatiana Jefferson. Atatiana Jefferson was a black woman, a 28-year-old woman, literally killed in her own home while she was watching her nephew by the police. And when it was time to make a statement, when the police had to put out a statement, they legitimately said they don't even know why they fired the shot. They just felt like they needed to. So, yes, please don't forget about her, because the most news coverage she got was when Rihanna shouted her out. And please don't forget about Aiyana Stanley Jones. Aiyana Stanley Jones was a 7-year-old girl who was shot by the Detroit Police Department for literally no reason. They assumed that she was in the way, and they assumed she was armed, but little that they did know was she was a 7-year-old girl who had nothing to do with anything. And due to that, her family went after and sued the police department of Detroit, and they just recently got an $8.2 million settlement. Mind you, she died in 2010, and they just now, towards the middle of 2019, got an $8 million settlement. And she would have graduated in 2020 if she was alive today. Black women are always front row when it comes to the injustices of black men being shot and done horribly due to police brutality, but I never see the huge amount of energy for them when it's time for them to go viral. Most of their stories don't go viral. Hell, most of any stories don't go viral when it comes to police brutality, but majority of their stories never do. So these black women could be your nieces, your sisters, your aunts, your cousins, So who's to say something similar happens to a black woman close to your life and she doesn't get any news coverage too? So you see what I mean when I say we have to make sure we say their names too, and we have to make sure that we're not just marching for George, we're not just marching for Trayvon, we're not just marching for Ahmaud Arbery, we're marching for them too. And please make sure to speak on the black trans people as well, because they have the smallest voice in this fight, and they deserve news coverage, and they deserve their names being told as well. Seeing my city in shambles, literally, and then seeing places like Chicago, Atlanta, Baltimore, Utah, Minnesota, Texas, LA, Alabama, Ohio, Kentucky, Las Vegas, Arizona, like seeing all these places up in arms and in protest is scary. And I want everyone to also know, if you haven't already, get you a strap. That might sound pretty insane, but get you a strap. Because at this point, this all sounds like a huge game of chess, and it sounds like all of us are the pawns in everything. So you ever notice how everything is so timely? Let me tell you why. Because all this, for some reason, all this seems like a random coincidence, but then it doesn't. Because let's talk about the fact that once 2020 hit, you ever notice that shit started getting fucked up? The pandemic came in 2020. Once the pandemic came, all of a sudden, so many presidential candidates dropped out. We're left with Joe Biden, the pedophile, Trump, the bigot. So we're left with those two to vote for in the next 4 months. Now, let's also talk about how the stock market crashed. The stock market crashed. All these black people randomly start dying at the hands of police, and they start resurfacing all over the internet randomly, timely, out of nowhere. And let's also address the fact that out of nowhere, everyone forgets about coronavirus. Everyone forgets about COVID. How? People are legit in crowds without masks. People are hugging each other, touching each other. No gloves, no hand sanitizer. Out there for hours, spreading probably what's potentially the virus. So the fact that the media quickly forgot to educate people about COVID, and this immediately became a police brutality thing, it's just like, how quickly was it for people? How easily was it for people to forget about COVID? So this is what I mean when I say this sounds like this could lead to a purge. I'm sure y'all have seen that movie, and if you haven't, go watch it. The purge is basically when people literally let out their anger, and every single law is pretty much not condemnable. You can do whatever you want, rape, murder, kill, stab, burn down shit, and you're not going to get condemned for it. That's literally what happened in the movie back in 2013 when it first came out. Now it's coming to effect. Everybody was in quarantine, everybody was bored, everybody was to themselves. Now everybody is quickly ready to come out the woodwork and fuck shit up out of anger. A lot of people are doing it out of boredom. Some people don't even know what the fuck they're protesting for. Some people don't even know half the other names that are being shared, but they're so quick to go out and protest and help fuck shit up. There's no reason why I saw a live stream of these whiteboard teenagers fucking up a smoke shop saying, damn, they ain't got no more Juul pods? What? There's no reason why I'm seeing videos of people legitimately fucking up liquor stores, trying to steal alcohol. People are burning down charter schools. People are burning down Wendy's. People are also burning down the post office. What does the post office have to do with anything? Weren't we just talking about mailing in voting ballots? It's just like, at the same time, I want to tell everyone to just be safe. If you're going to protest, do it safely. Now, I don't condone violence, but shout out to Lovely T. She said it the best.
If you see outside agitators, beat they motherfucking ass. If they don't look like they should be in the community, beat they ass. Because look what they did to my community. Y'all should have ran that umbrella man down and whooped his ass as soon as he started smashing AutoZone's window. Because AutoZone ain't coming back to the south side.
If anyone is looting, if anyone is fucking shit up and damaging stuff, please slap the fuck out of them and find some way to tell them to stop doing that, because it only makes things worse. It spins chaos. I literally had to burn sage in my whole entire house because this negative energy was giving me anxiety. Like, I'm literally paranoid because I don't know what's going to lead to this. So when I say this all sounds like a game of chess, it all really does. How all of a sudden the election is right around the corner, COVID happens, we're all self-quarantined, the stock market crash, People are out of jobs. People have no money. People got to sell their houses. People are homeless even more due to COVID and can't pay their rent because they're out of the job. This happens. Trump is pissing off Twitter. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. I'm watching the movie that came out in 2018. It's called The First Purge. Look.
Thought my lungs were small.
With large donations to the NFFA war chest.
Can the NFFA seize control? Will Americans fall for their fear-mongering? As your elected president, with my fellow new founding fathers,
and this is the fictional new president.
We will revive this country. The American dream is dead. We will do whatever it takes to let you dream again.
Martial law is probably closer than you think. Now, I talked about this in my last video, and I want everyone to understand that martial law could possibly happen. Let me tell you how easy it is. It's that easy to the point where Trump, with one word, with one green light, he can easily say, okay, fuck it, enforce martial law. And martial law is basically what they did to North Korea and what they did to, I believe, Cuba. Martial law is when they basically strip you of your rights and straight up tell you, bitch, go back in your house. Did we say you can move? Did we say you can walk? Oh, you know what? We don't like you. You pissed us off. We're going to throw you in jail for no reason. They strip you of your rights temporarily for a series of time, and they do this so that everybody can be safe due to panic and due to chaos. And guess what? This all happened back in 1961. I think the last martial law happened in 1961 globally, but the last most recent martial law happened in New Orleans back during Hurricane Katrina, where people were going crazy and rioting due to the government and due to politics and due to the fact that rappers were fueling it by saying fuck George Bush and all this other shit. Now, please be mindful that martial law is something very serious. I want everyone to stock up on cans immediately. Get you a metal bat to protect yourself, because when this stuff, if Trump says the wrong thing, before you know it, people could be breaking and smashing shit near you. Now, I know a lot of people are going to straight up say, whoa, let people loot. Let me ask you an honest question. Have people looted your house yet? Have people smashed up your car? Have people smashed up your job? Exactly. So saying looting is okay and saying that looting is perfectly fine and let people let it out, let people purge, I'm like, yeah, good point. But till it happens to you and you're affected, it's not going to be funny anymore. J.R. Smith, the ball player, literally fucked somebody up for damaging his car. And this dude literally lives in the fucking suburb. He lives in fucking Beverly Hills, I think. So this is what I mean when I say that it could happen to you at any moment. So protect your belongings. Go to the bank. Withdraw as much money as you can. Lock it up. Put a good stash somewhere. Now, the reason I'm saying make sure you withdraw as much money as you can is because you never know. The ATMs near you could be smashed. The banks could get closed. People ain't showing up to work to help you withdraw your money. So please keep that in mind. And also, please get you I believe it's called a ham radio. So that way, just in case the internet gets shut down, just in case anything at all, like social media crashes, you can't keep updated, your ham radio can help you reach further than local radio stations to keep you updated. And also, in the midst of all this quarantine, we all have this time to stay indoors and self-medicate. So start with investing into stocks. Please invest into cryptocurrencies. This world is turning into a cashless society, so consider doing your research and downloading Coinbase or Robinhood, both two apps where you can invest. Very important, invest into crypto. Right now, the stock market has crashed and things are going to pick up very soon within a year or two. So invest into things like Bitcoin, invest into American Airlines, invest into stocks. Please, please, please. Try to do things like read a book, catch up on your reading. Try to find ways to figure out ways to just overall spread your money around. And also, to everyone who's not black, to everyone who's an ally, I thank you for standing with black people during this rough time. Because seeing all of this happen and seeing all my, white friends or white people that I follow say, this is crazy, this is shocking, I can't believe someone could be so evil. Welcome to our reality. This is literally most black people, most black and brown people, and people of color's childhood being mistreated, being abused, being harassed, and being deprived from opportunity due to the way they look. And this is what happens when you let people hold their anger in for so long. Because believe it or not, a lot of us have some type of anger to racist people because they've made our lives harder. We all have some type of anger towards the racist people who have treated us horribly in the past. We all have racist experiences. We've all had them. And this is what happens when people constantly tell us racism is over. It explodes. It explodes. It explodes. It explodes. It's like a 4-year-old trying to control their temper. They just can't hold it anymore. They can hold it for so long until they explode and start screaming and scratching and biting. That's what happens when you poke a monkey for so long. When you poke an animal, when you poke a tiger for so long, it's a matter of time before that tiger's going to try to break out and claw your ass up. So please be mindful that it's important to address the issue head on rather than saying, oh wow, this is crazy. You know, I can't believe this is still happening. Welcome to reality. This has been happening since the beginning of time. Well, since the beginning of segregation, at least since the 1400s, this has been happening. You're just now seeing it on social media recorded. It's just not getting filmed. Social media is fairly new. So that's why people are opening room for big debates. So seeing all this happen, this all seems plotted. This all seems like some type of like ploy, like some type of trick, and everybody's feeding into it and following the lead, and everybody's being pinned against each other. Police officers are being harassed.
And join! Who the fuck is he gonna hurt? Look at this munchkin! Look at this baby ass bitch! You're so short! Look at this short guy! You let this short man join!
People are damaging stuff. Seeing all this chaos unfold. What a time to be an American. What a time to be an American. What a time to live in this world. Because right now people are protesting. People just started protesting in Canada. And please let me know in the comment section what experiences you've had so far, what you have seen. And please, like I said, if we're going to go protest, do it peacefully. Do not go out here trying to burn and fuck shit up. That is not going to fix anything. Because guess what? When you do that shit in your neighborhood, where you stay at, where your kids go to school at, it's just like, you might as well just find a bridge and jump because you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And then also, like I said in the beginning of this video, black women matter too. Black women are the first ones in line with all the other black men and all the white people and all the Asian people, but they're not getting the same coverage. So, please, don't forget to say all these people's names. Don't forget to say Breonna Taylor. Don't forget to say all these people who have been oppressed and have been killed due to police brutality. They need love and attention too. And me saying that black women need love and attention too is not me saying, oh, forget about the black women, let's talk about the black women. That's me saying, what about them? Because we all got black mothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, nieces or whatever. Or we all have someone that we care about that's a black woman. Or we know someone who knows a black woman. But overall, if you're not black, we all know black women. And what happens when you tell them that their issues don't matter? What happens when you tell them, oh, you don't matter, or it's not that serious, or it's not about you? Because then that just goes to show you that just tells them that, oh yeah, we only care about the men. We don't care about you. So please say all of their names. This riot has gotten way too far. It's not about George Floyd anymore. This is becoming anarchy. This is becoming the purge. And I want everyone to be mindful that this is way deeper and way darker than a lot of people think it is. So stay safe, stay indoors. Whatever you do not participate in it, because we got people like Jake Paul. We have rappers, celebrities like Jake Paul who are using it as an opportunity to be funny, to get a viral video, to troll, or to get posted on the blog. There's no reason why people like fucking Jake Paul, the little privileged white boy, is out here looting and condoning looting and smashing shit with his friends and colleagues. There's no... What the fuck is going on? These are the same people who never take the time or initiative to speak on black issues before it got this bad. Y'all wait for it to get bad to hop on the trend and to hop on the wave in order to address it. So like I always say, white privilege is real. White people don't face racism. And there you go, white people. There you go. Front and center. It took someone having to die and have someone's neck suffocated for you to realize that this shit is real. It happens, and oppression is not a myth. You see white people? You see white people who try to ignore the issue? This is it. This is it. This is literally our childhood. We have to see people who look like us all the time beaten, destroyed, and taken advantage of. So, yeah. Colonialism is a bitch. White supremacy is a bitch. It created a lot of fucking problems. But one thing that all these crackers did not predict, one thing that these crackers who created colonialism, institutionalized racism, and systematic oppression, they didn't predict social media and they didn't predict cell phones. So although this is unfolding and all this is spiraling out of control, at least now it's forcing everyone, yes, everyone, even that racist white bitch who treated you like shit in high school, even that racist friend, those college professors that try to ignore your racism, now they're seeing it. Now they're seeing it front and center in their face, and now they know racism will not be tolerated. So, yeah, thank you guys for enjoying this video. This video was very hard for me to film. I've been absent for like 4 or 5 days because I just been trying to find a way to just contain myself and figure out what I wanted to say. And I think I've covered it all. And like I always say, like, comment, subscribe. Be safe out here. The government is trying to kill us. It's all deeper than what you think. And be mindful that racism and slavery still exist. Troyce out this bitch.